So I just finished reading Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This follows a character named Marin. Marin is a street fighter. She's a part of a family that's impoverished. She lives in the poor slums, and in her village there are unfortunately children getting kidnapped by nabbers. And unfortunately one day her little sister gets taken by one of these nabbers. The main enemy of this village and that they're in the middle of a war with are called siphons. And these siphons are basically vampires, and instead of drinking blood they take life forces. And children in this world have the strongest life force. So in order to save her sister, she ends up joining the army. During the time that she joins the army, there is an event called the bonding trials. During these bonding trials, you climb up a mountain in order to get to the top to bond with direwolves. But she doesn't want to bond with a direwolf. She just wants to pass this trial and come out of it alive so that she can join the front line so she can save her sister. One of the direwolves she meets has other plans and forces a bond with her, and she has to go through trials and attend a military school that is set in the castle. And she of course bonds with like the strongest direwolf. There's a very strong emphasis on like pack dynamic in this world. The leaders of their packs are called alphas. I enjoyed myself with this book. It's giving very Fourth Wing vibes, but instead of dragons, think of direwolves to be bonded with. And there's a lot of things that she has to learn. She comes in very naive because she doesn't understand the whole entire pack dynamic, and she's never lived a life privilege where she was taught to be bonded with direwolves. It was more for the upper class, and this world is great. I guess you could say it's also pretty predictable, but did I eat it up anyways? And I was sat the whole entire time reading it? Yes I did. And I inhaled this book. It's great if you're suffering from any like fantasy hangover, especially if like you're still suffering from the Onyx Storm hangover. This one is great for if you love fast-paced fantasy. The fantasy is pushed forward more in this book than the romance is, but it's still like fantasy romance at the end of the day. There is sort of a love triangle that goes on, but you don't really get one side of the love triangle till maybe later on in the book, and then you find out more revelations in this book. There's like twist endings, and there's also a big mystery that's going on, and she starts sort of like seeing things and hearing things in the castle that's starting to make her feel crazy. And it's just great if you just want a fast-paced fantasy romance. There is multiple points in here though where I felt like our female main character reminded me a lot of DM from Spark of the Everflame. I could not stand DM. She was heavily insufferable, and there are points when our female main character gets really insufferable in here. She assumes a lot of things. She thinks she knows everything. She thinks she's right about everything until she's forced to learn a different way, and she makes very impulsive choices throughout the whole entire story, so just prepare yourself for that. And I cannot wait till the second book comes out. This left us off on a huge cliffhanger. Thankfully we don't have to wait that long. It comes out in July, and I think the third book comes out in November, and I think it's gonna be a trilogy, but I highly recommend, and I give it a 4.5 stars.